Alright, Working Class Beer Reviews is looking at Outlaw Mile High Light Beer. Says punch the pickaxe, daredevil since 1859, enjoy the gold. So I know nothing of this beer when I bought it. I bought a discount liquor and smoked about a 12 pack of this. I went to the Outlaw Mile High Light Beer website and it says about, you know what, you think I'd learned by now. Let's go ahead and pour it. Now I've got a new little stabbing mechanism. I had that little dagger, which actually I found out was a legit throwing knife. And a buddy of mine says, hey, because I had like a sheath that went with it and need like sewing up. He does leather work. He's like, you willing to trade for that? And I'm like, yeah, what do you got? And he's like, he gave me this folding knife. And this thing he made by hand. He did all the metal work, and this is actually deer antler. The edges are a little sharp up here. They probably need to be knocked down. But it is super sharp. Kind of cool. So yeah, I felt like it was a legit trade because I didn't use that throwing knife for anything but just stabbing cans, and boy does this thing do the job. So any of my watchers that aren't puncturing their cans before a pour, what's wrong with you, and why aren't you responding to me when I challenge you? I challenge you. I mean it. So very lively. Let's see if there's a date on here. 3/2/24 born on date. So you know what? This may actually be one of the beers I've had in a while that are within the freshest date. I mean, March 2. So we're in June. So it's been a few months, but you know what? It's cold. It's in a can. I think it should be all right. So top this off a little bit. Let's see what the website has to say about Outlaw. Outlaw is brewed by Tivoli Brewing Company. Let us tell you the story of resilience and rebirth. In 1859, John Good started Tivoli. Years later, during Prohibition, Tivoli adapted by producing low-ABV cereal beers, adjunct beers. After the ban was lifted, Tivoli roared back to life, brewing a legendary lineup of beers. Growing to become one of the largest breweries in the USA, Tivoli faced a setback when record floods devastated Denver, forcing the brewery to close its doors. However, the spirit of Tivoli persevered, and it was reborn in the same building, equipped with state-of-the-art facilities. With 153 years of history, Tivoli Brewing continues its legacy, crafting exceptional beers for all to enjoy. The website does not give the ABV, it does not give the IBU, it does not give the mash bill or hop bill, anything like that. So let me look at the can here, and it should tell me this is Tivoli Brewing Company, 4.2 ABV. That's literally all the information it gives me. So sorry guys, I wish I had more. If I did more research, maybe I could find more, but I've never heard of this. I don't, besides New Belgium, that's one of the few beers I get from Colorado that's available to me. I poured into this kind of cool lager glass, chalice, whatever you want to call it, and it's holding a head. It's exceptionally cold, so it's kind of, condensating very quickly. It's very clear, very light, a light straw color. I mean, very reminiscent of a American light lager. When it says that they produce cereal beers, that tells me that there's corn in here more than likely, possibly rice, but they don't specify, they don't say. So we're just going to have to assume corn because that's the most prominent cereal grain that they produce. So yeah, the color, it's nice. The head sticks around, so the quality is decent. The can is got all sorts of scrawling, kind of like when you look at a topography map, like an elevation map, and you see all these lines when it shows like higher elevation, and then it's got like a dead head, like antlers, deer antlers, 105 calories. It does say that. So, I mean, that's, 95 calories is like what Miller Lite and Coors Light are. I'm guessing Bud Light's probably in that range, around 99. So 105, I would say that's considered light. Um, I don't know what the carbs are, so I can't tell you if this is low carb beer. So let's give it a smell. Very light in the aroma. Just very mild grain. You don't really smell any sort of hoppiness or anything like that. Obviously it's going to have something. But I've been meaning to do this one for a while because I don't know how long I'll see it for. Being from a different state, and I don't see a variety from this brewery. This could be a one-off thing, so I thought I'd just kind of grab it and try it. It is about $12.99 for a 12-pack, so I don't know. It's getting pretty close to standard. I can buy cheaper. I can run over the same story that I do every time. Miller High Life is my go-to, the 12-pack 16 ounces for $8.99. Unless someone else can top that, that's what I'm going to go with. But for something new that's semi-affordable, this is honestly $12.99. It's below craft prices. Craft prices for a 12-pack are in the $15 to $16 range, which isn't great. That's why I don't buy them very often. I'll buy a 6-pack for $9, $9 to $10, which I don't like that either. Considering I can get a 12-pack for $9 of Miller High Life. Very grainy. Papery. Kind of a grain husk type flavor to it. That does make you wonder, because I enjoy a lot of different varieties of adjunct lagers, and I don't get that. So, and a lot of them use like the extracts and the syrups and stuff like that. So I wonder if you taste like a husky paperiness, if that's actually actual grains, which in and of itself, if you think of it, it adds a different dynamic. It's not as pleasurable, but it gives me the idea that I'm drinking something real. Excuse me. Extracts are kind of the new cheat code for everything, because there was a time where Genesee used yellow corn grits, Miller used yellow corn grits. Budweiser, as far as I know, still uses the Verdant. They used to use whole grain rice, but now they probably use, broken rice, whatever. And they grow their own barley malt, or barley, so they malt their own barley and stuff like that. So I guess I have to give a leg up, because I can taste that. That makes me think that it's actual grain and not extracts and syrups. While it's not what I'm used to, I could come to appreciate that, because that, even though, like I said, I know I stated at the same time, like, one, it wasn't as good as something else. It's just not what I'm used to. It's not what I'm acclimated to. So what if this is a genuine article, a genuine recipe from actual grains of barley and corn, and this is actually what it would taste like, and that's just not what I'm used to? I can't taste the difference. You ever eat canned corn and like the skin? Like you could pop the kernel out of the corn and you have the skin. It kind of has that kind of flavor to it. So that's kind of what tips me off to saying maybe it's more of a genuine product, Maybe of someone that's so used, because I live in the very center of the United States, in Missouri, Kansas. That's like they call it the heartland, and I guess you could say it for that reason too, but it's just like physically in the center. And in Missouri and Sedalia, I am physically pretty close to the center of Missouri. Like US 50 goes from Kansas City, it makes it to St. Louis. There's also I-70, the big one. But 50 highway will make its way through Jefferson City, the capital, into St. Louis. And then I've got US 65, which goes up into Iowa, probably even makes its way into Minnesota for all I know, or Wisconsin, what it do. And then all the way down to Louisiana to Jay, if you're watching this, where does 65 end? I want to say Shreveport, but it could go south of Shreveport. Maybe, I don't know, think it makes it all the way to New Orleans. But 65, US 65 highway, making it, I'm at the crosshairs of 50 and 65. So anyone that's understands the highway system will know exactly where I'm at. So yeah, part of the heartland. You know, corn's a big deal where I live. Corn, soybean. You know, most of it's used for biofuel. There is some that is used for food. As far as wheat, I don't know in my area that wheat is grown. It's typically just corn, soybean. If wheat is grown, it's for personal consumption, not, or I mean, it might be for sale, but it's not for like a government subsidy crop like corn and soybean is, you know, for ethanol and whatnot. So yeah, I guess after contemplating that gives me pause to think that this actually may be better than what I realized. Thank you to Outlaw, or the, what is it called? Tivoli Brewing Company. I did not know ye, but I discovered you by happenstance. There's, yeah, so there's that. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. And then there's that. Daredevil since 1859. Enjoy the gold. Gold rush, big thing in Colorado. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny to think about that. It's not what I'm used to, but what I'm used to is not great. So maybe it's better than what I thought it was, and it may change my whole perspective on tasting and, you know, contemplating beers. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this. If anybody has had anything from Outlaw or Tivoli, I don't know how widespread it is. It doesn't sound like it is, but they make it sound like it went back a long way. I don't know. Falstaff went a long way back and it's no longer available. So maybe so. Who knows? But anyway, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.